What's up? What's up? You are now tuned in to the network, the YouTube channel that takes complex networking topics and dumbs them down to a more simpler language, more layman's terms. Today's topic will be configuring and verifying SNMP version 3. This is a topic in the CCNP route exam. It'll be known as the CCNP Enterprise exam come February 24th, 2020. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exam blueprint and see where we came from and where we are headed. Hashtag labeveryday. Go ahead and visit labeveryday.com and also maybe in the future networkbruh.com. Y'all notice I'm promoting something I ain't even got yet. All right, this is the blueprint here, implementing Cisco IP routing. And sorry if I spaz out on y'all because this mouse pad been acting up. But anyways, implementing Cisco IP routing is the name of it. 300-101 is the exam code. It'll be known as 300-401 once it becomes a CCNP Enterprise exam. We just wrapped up version 2. Today we're going to do version 3. After that, we're going to finally move on to configuring and verifying logging and the different loggings and timestamps. We said in the last video that SNMP as a whole is kind of like the lights on the dashboard of your car, right? You get these warning symbols anytime you know, the car needs to tell you something, right? Except it does it in symbols, right? When you run out of gas or you're running out of gas, you get this little symbol here. If your high beams are on, you get that. If you got the check engine light, that means you need to check your engine, right? Duh. Well, SNMP kind of works the same way. It lets you know if an interface went down. It lets you know that the serial port is up. It lets you know when somebody unplugged something, right? It does. That's what they are, alerts. It sends you these what they're called SNMP traps, and that's how SNMP works. Similar to the lights on the dashboard of your car, right? Now, before we talk about last video, we talked about version 2, right? Today, obviously, we're going to talk about version 3. As a review, we talked about the different entities within the SNMP architecture in the network, right? We said that the PC that has the application, the third-party application or the SNMP application, it's called the manager. So you'll be sitting on the PC with the manager looking at these traps and stuff, right? And they go back and forth, these messages, the polls, which is the poll is you asking the device, hey, are you okay interface? Hey, are you okay loopback? Hey, are you okay CPU? Hey, you okay fan? Hey, you okay power supply? So on and so forth, right? Those are called polls. And then within these polls, sometimes you may receive a trap, right? Somebody unplugs a message, the trap will come back to you. We'll explain that in the next slide. And I want to emphasize that, right? So polls are when you're checking to see if everything's okay. The traps come back to you, let you know, hey, something is unplugged. Or, hey, we just have an authentication failure. Somebody tried to log into this router. We also said that, yeah, SNMP runs on a message exchange, between, the manager and the managed device, which is also called an agent. We declared an agent because it collects and stores information on the device, right? It also responds to manager requests for information, which are the polls, right? Request information is like the polls, right? Or it could be you're just inquiring to see if a part is okay or if it's down or whatever. And also the agent also generates the traps, which I also told you. When the managed device, the router or the switch or the firewall is letting you know, hey, something just happened, or just as an informational purpose. MIB, we said, is a database of objects, so kind of like all the parts of the car. Remember, we used the car as an example in the last video. So all the parts of the car, we have like the headlights, we have the brake lights, we have the tire, the brakes, the engine, right? We have the different parts, right? And each corresponding part has an object identifier, an OID, right? And that's how we compared the SNMP architecture, just like a car, right? It has different parts and lets you know if something happens, gives you an alert, just like the dashboard, right? Now, again, the polls are your device or the manager of the PC is requesting information. That's the SNMP poll, right? You'll get a reply from the managed device. So let's say if this was a UPS, right? Uninterruptible power supply or something, or a printer, let you know, hey, I'm okay. My ink is full. That's the response to the poll, right? Now a trap, like I said, the trap is just an unsolicited message, basically. He ain't getting somebody to ask him, hey, is that a slow leak in the car, or is that CPU too hot? No. That's the trap is the actual device letting you know, hey, my CPU is too hot, or hey, one of my redundant power supplies is down. That is what the trap is. The trap is the actual device letting you know something is wrong or something just happened. That's the difference between the pole and the trap. I want to emphasize that. I don't think I emphasized that enough in the last video as I rewatched it. Now, again, poles and traps. I wanted to further do a little more of a deep dive with this, right? We have the MIBs. We said what the MIB is, right? It's the management information base. It's just a collection of OIDs, and we said the OIDs is kind of like part numbers for the parts of the car, or part numbers for each part of a router or a switch or a, whatever, load balancer, whatever the case may be, right? Let's say you have part number, or OID in this case, object identifier number 1.5.6.8.9. Whatever. You got to go to, you copy that number, paste it in the Cisco's website, and it'll let you know what that is. It's not necessarily a part number. It could also be a trap. It could be an action, right? So it could be like in the last video, we had an OID for link down, right? This trap lets you know, okay, a link went down or somebody unplugged something. That's not a part. It's an action, right? So that's what basically traps also do. Now the poles go through port number 161, all the poles. So when a network management system, you sitting at this computer or your SNMP server is checking to see if the car or router or switch or whatever networking device is okay, he's polling or asking on port number 161, right? When he receives the request or response or the trap, all the information as you see at the bottom, all the traps go to port 162, right? And remember, those are called get requests and those are get response. Now there's also like bulk retrieval and stuff. I don't think we're gonna get that deep into it. So version 3 adds, yeah, it's kind of hot in this garage. I need to get me a little fan. I need to do that. I really need to do that. SNMP version 3 adds encryption and real authentication. As we said in the last video, there's 3 types of encryption, right? Well, not necessarily encryption, but 3 security levels, right? We have no auth, no priv, which lets you know there is no authentication or no privacy. You got lady in the shower, and it's just like, whoa, hold up, man. Now you can, if you do a Wireshark capture, you can see the passwords and stuff like that, right? It uses the username for authentication, but it does not use encryption. So again, maybe if we have time, I'll do a Wireshark capture, and we'll try to capture these get responses and get requests and stuff like that, the poles and the traps, basically. Then you have auth, no priv, which is authentication, no privacy. So this was no authentication and no privacy. It says, this is tricky, right? It says no authentication, yet it uses a username. It uses a username, but it doesn't use a password. So that's the tricky part right there. Remember that. So there is a username with no auth, no priv, but it's called no auth and no privacy because there's no authentication, no privacy. It just uses the username for authentication, but no encryption. This is auth, no priv, so there's authentication, and it uses a hash for authentication, MD5 or SHA-1, but it does not use encryption. Hence the name auth, no priv, no privacy. And this is the full secure version, which we recommend that you do, or Cisco recommends you do. Auth priv, which uses a hash for authentication and uses encryption for privacy. DES, 3DES, or AES. Pop quiz. I forgot what it stood for, but y'all know sometimes I give y'all pop quizzes when I forgot something. What does the AES? I could easily Google this, but what does the AES stand for? If you know the answer to that, put it in the comments below. AES is a form of encryption. What does it stand for? Anyways, here is a configuration example here at the bottom. Well, just like SNMP version 2, it's recommended you create an access list so that way not everybody can access your devices via SNMP. So you create an access list, put the IP address of the device that's going to be polling the network device or device that's on the network, and after that you create a group. Now groups are used to associate a view with a group or specify read and write access, right? So you do SNMP. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty intuitive here, right? So it's SNMP server group. You put V3 for version 3, obviously. Auth, this was auth. You could do, so there's auth, and then you're referencing the access list here with access 1. This is just a configuration example. There's different ways to do this. SNMP, this one has, this one uses, the user is, you can create user credentials, right? And the user credentials you are creating is what's going to be required to access a view based on a group. So you can create a group and then add a user in the group. In this case, that's what's going on here. We created the group called CCNP, and then we created a user within that group called user 1, right? Version 3, auth. You're putting the type of encryption that you want. In this case, they're using SHA, and then you put in a password. So in this case, we've got a username and password. So this is authentication. This is auth plus the privacy because we have the privacy key there. I mean, type of privacy authentication there. Again, this is another version comparison. Same one we did in the last video. Remember, SNMP version 1 is not very secure. It's not secure at all. I doubt you'll find this on the network. Version 1. Remember what I said in the last video, the person that should be using it, that is using it, should be shot. Then we got version 2C, which is pretty much like version 1, but there's bulk retrieval available. And then version 3, which talks about, or security is what we just explained earlier. There's authentication, confidentiality, and integrity, along with bulk retrieval available. These are some show commands. I don't think we did very much of them in the last video, so we'll try to do a little more of a deep dive with these show commands. Show SNMP, show SNMP view, group, and user and the username, and you'll get information on that. So let's go ahead and fire up these devices, my hardware, and we're going to experiment with SNMP version 3. Unfortunately, this is my work laptop, so I couldn't really get the application installed. I believe it was like a firewall or some kind of antivirus that's blocking it, so I couldn't get it installed, and I wasn't going to try to, break this laptop down just to get it. So we're going to do it the old school way. I'm going to bring my cell phone out. I'm sorry to do this to y'all. If y'all want to skip this video, I'm fine with that. You know, if you want to thumbs down it, whatever, but I'm doing my best. Remember, I'm recording my journey and sharing it with y'all. So at least give me some credit here. I tried to show y'all this, right? I didn't have any kind of, external VGA cable or a USB cable so I can get it in, on my test laptop. So we're just going to use unfortunately, use the cell phone. I'm going to record it while I'm trying to get this application going. So let's go ahead and fire up this hardware and experiment SNMP version 3. All right, y'all. So here's the lab we're going to be working with today. Pretty much the same lab that we did in the last video, right? We got PCA going to switch 1 via FA06. I'll even show y'all here physically. We got this cable, right, from PC1 going all the way FA06, which is right here, right? Then we have the cable going from FA05 to GI01 of router 1, which is this cable right here, going to GI01, which is located right here. I hope y'all can see that. I don't know if I ain't got no light over here. There we go. There goes GI01. And this is just for the few that don't really get to see hardware, doing simulators and GNS3 and stuff like that. This is what a gigabit port looks like, right? And then we have from router 1, who is going to be declared an SNMP agent, has a serial cable going from here to router 2. And if you are only using packet tracer and viral and stuff like that, if you don't know what a serial cable looks like, that's what it'll look like. So this is 0 to 0 going right over here, right? It'll even show you, there you go, right there, serial. So that's what a serial port looks like right there, right? That's your serial cable right there. See that? And this is just, like I said, I'm a hands-on, I'm a kinetic learner. This is what I need to know, when I'm doing this stuff. Anyways, scroll down some and take a look at the rest of the lab. That's the IP addressing guide. So same thing as the last video. That's the background and scenario. We can skip all this part right here. SDM prefer, again, if you want to know more information on this stuff right here, I did a video on SDM, which is Switch Database Manager. Yeah, there it goes, right there, Switch Database Manager. I did a video on that. We can skip this part because I already put it on LAN-based routing or just routing. This just lets us know what we need, which is 2 routers and a switch. I already did the cabling. We already configured the host. The host PC, which is this guy right here, he was able to ping the gateway, so that's good. I already have the SNMP manager installed. We can skip this part right here. Let's go ahead and skip this part because this is SNMP configuring SNMP version 2. So we're not doing that. We did SNMP version 2 in the last video. Let's go ahead and get on with version 3, which is located right here. Okay, configure SNMP version 3 on router 1, which is what we're going to do. Right now, I'm already consoled in the router 1. Enter the following commands from the global configuration mode and configure the router as an SNMP agent. And he just explains what each one of these do. I will do that along as well. So the first thing they want us to do is create an access list for the host, right? For the host PC. So, and it's common, it's recommended that you create an access list when you are working with SNMP. That way, not everybody can just, get on your device all willy-nilly like that and figure out what your devices are. Let's go to global config mode. This is going to be a little rough, but bear with me, guys. Configure terminal. And we're going to create the access list, which is IP, access list, standard in this case. And they want us to put permit, P-E-R-M-I-T, all caps, right? Underscore, no, hyphen, admin. Now we're creating the standard access list, and we are going to permit 192.168.1.0. The wildcard mask is 0.0.0.255. We get hit enter there. So we're allowing that whole network to gain SNMP access. That will be this PC, right? So now we can exit out of this bad boy. We're going to create an SNMP view. SNMP view, right? Y'all remember what the SNMP view is? It's what we're allowing to view. So we're going to say SNMP -server. It says here view, and then we're going to do a view, create a view called SNMP-RO. That stands for read only. So this view will only allow you to read only, right? And then after that, what options we have here? It says here to do a word, creative word that's going to give you, just name this view basically. The MIB view family name. In this case, they wanted us to name it ISO. What other options we have at? Excluded or included. In this case, they want to do included. Included will say MIB family is included in the view. So we're going to include the MIB family. You remember what MIB is, right? Management Information Database. So we're going to say included, and we're including the view for that. After that, they want us to, right here, SNMP group. We're going to create a group now. So let's go ahead and scroll up some so y'all can see. Right, so now we're going to create a group. Again, I'm sorry for doing it this way. I know this is kind of ghetto. I just want to, like I said, I'm sharing my journey with you guys. So now we're going to go ahead and create a group, right? And the group is called ADMIN. And then what options do we have here? Let me question mark so y'all can see. We can do version 1, a group using version 1, 2C, and 3. Obviously, today's video is about version 3, so we're going to do version 3. The next thing they want us to do is the priv. Remember what we were just talking about with the 3 different privileges? There's auth, no auth, and priv. If you don't remember what that is, go to, rewind it a little bit, and we talk about what those are. In this case, they want us to do auth, which will be the group using the auth, no priv. So this will be auth, no priv security level, right? So AUTH, and then we're going to say RED. Well, let me show y'all what the option is for that after that, right? We could specify, we're going to specify a read view for the group, not a write view, because we're not going to allow them to write. So we're going to specify a read, and then we're going to call it SNMP-RO, right? Because this is the name of the read view. So SNMP-RO space. What options we have here? We can specify an access list, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to specify the access list named permit admin, which is what we did in the very first step, right? This part right here. This part right here. That's what we're going to be referencing with this. Caps permit -admin, right? I believe that's all we need to do there. Now we're going to create a group, a user. So we're going to create a user within this group. So SNMP-server, tab out of that, and create a user. Now, what do they want us here? They want the name of the user. In this case, it's going to be user1, all caps, right? After that, what do they want us to do? They want us to create a group to which the user belongs. So we're going to add user1 to the admin group that we just created in the first line. That was the admin group right here. This guy right here, right? So we can just actually paste that right there. We're going to say user1, add him to admin, MIN. We're going to be using version 3. Auth, right? Which, here's what's different here. We got the different algorithms here. We're going to use SHA as the hash algorithm here. Is that hash? I'm sorry, I believe that's encryption. So yeah, that's hash. That's the hash. So SHA, right? And then they want us to create a community string here. So let me show y'all, right? This is the authentication password for the user. Cisco. So this is what he has to type when he wants to, you know, gain his view. Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, bear with me, please. After that, what do we have? We have access to specify an access list, or priv to do encryption parameters. So in this case, we're going to do some encryption parameters. Priv. That says PRI on there. Maybe they shortened it. AES, which is what we're going to do. So look, here's the options here. 3 DES, AES, or DES for encryption. So these are all encryption methods here. Again, that's our pop quiz. What does AES stand for? And then we're going to choose the bit. All right, and it's creating the user, and we created the user, and it's permitting SNMP engine boot. And that's what it did, right? So how many bits we're going to use for our encryption? This is similar to like when we're doing creating a key modulus, right? How strong do we want our encryption? They only wanted 128, and then they want us to put the privacy password, which in this case is right over here, Cisco 54321. So we're going to do Cisco 54321. Now we're going to verify SNMP configuration on router 1. We could do show run include SNMP, or show run show SNMP user. Let's go ahead and do the show run. Y'all know I don't really like try to stay away from the show run. Show running configuration. We're going to include, so pipe, where's the pipe? Include SNMP. Here's our configuration for SNMP. That's how we do it. We can also show SNMP user. And here's the user we created. That's his information. That's the engine ID. Storage is stored on non-volatile, basically the NVRAM. Its authentication protocol is SHA. There's the privacy protocol, AES 128. Right? If it was 256, it would have said AES 256. And there's the group name that he belongs to, admin. What other show commands they want us to run here? None. They want us to configure SNMP manager access. So now we could go ahead and launch that application. Actually, no, they want us to open Wireshark and start a live capture. Interesting. I didn't see this coming. Do I even have Wireshark installed on this bad boy? Yeah, I need to install Wireshark, and I want to get all this for you guys going. So let me go ahead and pause here and get Wireshark going. Okay, so I went ahead and installed Wireshark, and it says here, navigate to PCA, open up Wireshark, start a live capture on the appropriate interface. I'm starting the Wireshark capture on this interface right here, the cable that goes to switch 1, right? It says to enter SNMP in the filter field. So let's bring this down. Enter SNMP in the filter field. So here's this filter field. Gefilte fish.
His name is Fish.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte.
SNMP, right? And then I believe that's all they wanted us to do, right? In the MIB browser, click Edit Settings, select version 3 for SNMP version, and then click Add. So Edit Settings, version 3, Add. So here's the SNMP application. It's called Managed Engine MIB browser free tool. It, again, is free. You can download it. I'll leave a link in the description below. What did it say? Edit, settings, version 3. What else they wanted us to do? Add, right? And click add. And then I think they want us to add, the PC? Well, let's see what it says here next. Enter the SNMP settings that were configured on router 1. Yes, the device that we're managing. So 192.168.1.1, user 1, SHA-161, and then the authentication password. So let's go ahead and do that. 192.168.1.1, user 1. 92.168.1.1. Hope y'all can see that. And then the password was user 1 in all caps, right? USDR1. This was supposed to be SHA, but oh, that's why, because we had to do we did auth no priv, right? Yeah. Oh, we did auth priv. That's why. Auth priv, so both authentication, we did SHA for this, and the password I believe was Cisco12345, if I'm not mistaken, right? Now we gotta be very careful here. Let's go back and double check what they were. We're back in the router. Let's go to enable mode, and let's do a show SNMP user. Password is not seen here, so maybe we got to go to just show SNMP. Let's do a show run and then look at the SNMP. And I don't think it's going to be on there because watch it. Show run, include SNMP, and you are not going to see the password there. Get my hand out of your way. No context name. We're just going to apply. Yeah, Cisco 12345, but that's what it was. Okay. so we did that wrong. Okay, let's change this. That was wrong. See that? That's why I'm glad they put that sheet, they broke it down for us. So let's look at that again. The auth password is Cisco 12345. The priv password is 54321. So let's get rid of that and type 54321. We're going to apply. The protocol might be wrong. So let's see what we got wrong here. User 1. Oh, the priv protocol is probably wrong. That is wrong. That's what was wrong. Now let's try to apply it. Nope. We might have to type in that stuff again. Let me correct it and I'm going to come right back. Okay, I went ahead and corrected it. I just copied and pasted, made sure everything was in there. And as you can see, the information was added right there. We could just click, I believe, OK here. And we got version 3. We can click OK here as well. Loading MIBs, as you can see right here. Done. Next step was click edit, find node, enter this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste that bad boy. So we're gonna go to click edit, find node. Find what? Click that. And iso.org.dod, internet, blah, 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 is listed in the object ID field. Object ID field is located where? There it is right there. So it is entered in here. What else they want us to do? Sorry for going real slow, y'all. I'm gonna keep apologizing for this, but remember, I'm sharing my journey. I got my cell phone for y'all. So if that ain't, you know, love for y'all, y'all go ahead and hit that like button while you're on here. And click operation, right, which is up here. Then get all the objects under the MIB object. So we're gonna go to operation and then get. There's the options right there. Get, and we got the MIB objects right here. Navigate back to the Wireshark screen and stop live capture. So let's see what we got going on here. They want us to stop live capture. I didn't see we captured anything. Anyway, let's start. I guess I didn't start capturing packets. Continue without saving. Let me pause this real quick for y'all. But here, notice we put SNMP in the filter, right? So just filter for SNMP packets in Wireshark. So there's nothing else coming in here. We're just filtering for just SNMP packets. We go back to the MIB browser and click this button right here, get request, get SNMP variable, right? Which is what I don't know why they didn't just tell us to press that button. You do that and it pulls up the value IP address entry. So but basically IP address entries, right? We do that, go to the Wireshark Capture, which is located here. And there's the requests, right, that we've got. Next thing says to click one of those and open it up, right? Navigate back to the Wireshark screen, stop the live capture. So we're going to hit stop right here. Then it says in the results panel, click on one of the results, select protocol preferences, simple network management preferences. So stop, click on one of these guys, protocol preferences, simple network management protocol preferences. This guy, I believe. Okay, we did that. Next thing they want us to do, click edit for the users table. Click new to enter your new information and click OK. Edit, guess that's new right there. Create a new entry. And what do they want us to do here after that? We're gonna leave the user, it's a different screen here, so maybe because I'm using a newer version of Wireshark, that's probably why. So the username they want us to do is user1 SHA1. So we're basically modifying the user1. He said the password is going to be Cisco 12345. Cisco 12345. Authentic privacy protocol is 8yes. What else they want us to do after that? Privacy password is Cisco 54321. 54321. We need to change the authentication method to SHA1. We'll click OK here. I believe that's all we need to do here. Click OK to accept the user information. Click OK again to exit the preference window. And select one of the lines and view the decrypted messages. So we're going to click OK here. So we're creating a new entry here, I believe. OK. Now we check the screen. That's the select one of the lines. Expand the SNMP result and view the decrypted messages. And it's going to look like this right here. Let's check one of these get responses right here. Let's check the latest one. Open that up, open this bad boy up, and there it is right there. See, authentication parameters. You can't see the password. That is the beauty of SNMP version 3, encrypted. Y'all can't see the password. What? That is all I got for y'all today. If y'all made it this far, I apologize for that shaky camera. I couldn't get it going on my work laptop. I didn't want to do, disable anything to get it installed. So I said, let me just do it on the camera, on the cell phone camera, because that little small tiny PC didn't have a webcam. But anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit me with the like, man. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video with anybody that's getting into computer networking. Please leave a comment below on what else I could have done to, talk or, experiment with SNMP version 3. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe to the network.